We do not want to hurt Arabs. We believe the temple belongs to everyone, on the condition the Arabs behave like humans and follow basic human rules like not to kill. If the Arabs try to hurt us or murder us, they will be banned from the Temple Mount forever.
We go to the mount in order to build the temple. We built the third temple with every prayer on the mount, with every utterance at the Temple Mount, with every step we take on the Temple Mount, even if the police shuts us up.
Moments ago, a terrorist was driving a vehicle down the number 1 road. He struck 4 people near the light railway, 500 meters away from where we are at the moment. Continued driving, and then when he reached the traffic lights, the junction, there was nowhere for him to go. He left his vehicle, attempted to strike a number of people with an iron bar. Immediately, border police officers that arrived at the scene shot and killed the terrorist. Unfortunately, we're talking about another terrorist attack inside Jerusalem. 6 people have been injured and are being taken to hospital, and large police forces in and around the area dealing with the scene.
We received calls about a car that ran down pedestrians at the light train station below, at the far junction below me, and then continued to drive towards us, drove down additional pedestrians and got stuck in a car that was at the traffic lights. We have about 13 to 14 injured people, among them 4 or 3 in serious condition. The rest are likely to moderately injured, and they were evacuated by Magen David Adom ambulance teams to the hospitals in Jerusalem.
The place, the holy place that is at the center of all of this, you can see behind me, the noble sanctuary, as you say. You can see the grey dome of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the gold of the Dome of the Rock. That is said to be together the holiest, the third holiest place in Islam, and it is also of such very holy and sacred significance to the Jewish faith as well. The Temple Mount, the site of ancient Jewish biblical era temples, and it is the issue of visitation and who gets to pray there that is at the focus of all of this, and it is an issue that has the potential, I think many here agree, to be well and truly explosive, and that's certainly the way it looked to be towards the end of last week. Following those shootings that you described, the decision by security forces here to close all access to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, that really brought things to a head, and it was only that decision on Friday to at least open it partially to Muslims over 50, and indeed the rain and the cool weather that we've seen here in recent days that have cooled the tensions that we have seen here on the streets. But what is crucial and what is very much at the center of the potential dispute here is what they call the status quo. The fact that Muslims can pray there, Jews can visit, but are not allowed to pray, because there is something of a campaign by right-wing organizations and individuals, Jews and Jewish organizations, to try and change that. They would like to have greater access, they would like to have the right to pray, and that is something that is deeply sensitive to Palestinians and Muslims here. The Israeli government is clearly aware that this is a critically sensitive issue, and at the moment they are going out of their way to stress that the status quo will not change. They do not support any sort of change to those rules which govern the type of activity that can take place on the site behind me, despite the fact that there are members of their own government, lawmakers from within parties of the ruling coalition that support those sorts of changes, that would like, in their words, to see a return to Jewish sovereignty at that site. So tensions remain, but the important context here is they do not remain in isolation because of this issue alone. Palestinians are broadly very angry here because of a range of issues: lingering anger from the Gaza war, an expansion of settlements into East Jerusalem, a site that they would like to see as the capital of a future Palestinian state, and indeed the very poor status of ongoing negotiations which have effectively stalled to try and achieve some sort of peaceful settlement to this ongoing conflict. So it is very tense, and that is why there is still very much a feeling here in Jerusalem that it could take just one event to spill over and create a new major wave of violence across this city.
המציאות הזאת צריכה להשתנות, תפילות של יהודים צריכות להישמע על ההר הזה, המקום הזה הוא המקום הקדוש ביותר לעם היהודי, והסטטוס קוו צריך להשתנות. אני באמת נמצאת כאן היום כדי לחולל את השינוי הזה ביחד עם חברים נוספים בממשלה, ביחד מלמעלה ומלמטה על ידי תנועה גדולה של אנשים שיעלו להר הזה, ביחד עם ההבנה שכל עוד יהודים מאוימים מעצם המעשה של עלייה למקום הזה, ממשלת ישראל צריכה לעשות הכל כדי לשנות את הסטטוס קוו.
I'm standing right now on the seam line between East and West Jerusalem, just outside some of the city's largest hotels. A large number of police and emergency medical vehicles have responded to the scene. Police say a suspect driving a van collided with a crowd of people outside a light rail station, injuring 14, one critically. They say the van then hit a number of cars before finally stopping at an intersection. Police say the suspect got out of his van and started attacking police with a metal bar before being shot and killed by police. Eyewitnesses say they heard at least 20 shots fired. Now, police are calling this is a terrorist attack. This is the second such attack in over 2 weeks. The last one also happened in this area about a kilometer away when a driver collided with a group of people, killing a 3-month-old baby and an Ecuadorian woman. Now, these attacks really part of a wave of violence that Jerusalem has seen over the past month. Security has been increased. A police spokesperson I was talking to telling me that it's very difficult to prevent this kind of thing from happening. Isa?
And Erin, do we know any more about the driver of this van? What does police say? What are police saying?
Well, while police are calling this a terrorist attack at the moment, they are saying that the identity of the driver is currently under investigation.
Unfortunately, we saw today another terrorist attack. Terrorists that decided to kill innocent people just for the sake that they're Jews living in the city of Jerusalem. It is totally unacceptable. It's part of incitement and feeling of the Palestinian Authority and others to create havoc in the city of Jerusalem, and we will not let that happen.
What could and should be done?
Well, first of all, it's very, very clear and fast police work. In this case, a police officer that decided to end the story and kill the terrorist on the spot. Unfortunately, it's not an easy day for the city of Jerusalem. Every time we suffer people that are hurt from a terrorist attack, it hurts us, and our hearts are crying, and we want to wish the people that are hurt fast recovery and condolences to the family of the victim. On the other hand, we're very tough, and we'll move on with our life and make sure that the terrorists understand we will not prevail. We will continue our path, living in the city of Jerusalem, developing the city of Jerusalem, and if anything, it'll toughen us up and make us respond tougher in cases of terrorist attacks or any people that try and take the law into their hands.
היום יום פטירתה של רחל אמנו, אנחנו פה בקבר רחל בבית לחם. עליה נאמר הפסוק ושבו בנים לגבולם. שבו זה פירושו להיות פה, ללמוד פה, לבנות את כל ארץ ישראל ולעשות הרבה תורה, בנייה ויחד שבטי ישראל. הגיע הזמן ששבו בנים לגבולם, תהיה בנייה באופן טבעי מלא גם בירושלים, גם ביהודה ושומרון, בגליל, בנגב, נבנה את ארץ ישראל בלי שום מגבלות של אף גוי ושל אף אחד אחר. פשוט נבנה את ארץ ישראל כפי שלמדנו מהדורות הקודמים.
Israel says it's planning to replace the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem and Quds with a temple. The Minister of Housing and Construction has called for the construction of what he calls the Third Temple to replace the holy site. Uri Ariel says the first and the second temples were destroyed many years ago, so the third one needs to be built now. Al-Aqsa Mosque is considered the third holiest site in Islam. Palestinians have denounced the plan as desecration. They say it's part of Israel's ongoing attempts to distort the Arab and Islamic history. Palestinians argue that Jerusalem is the capital of a future Palestinian independent state and that its heritage should remain intact.
I feel deeply honored and privileged to stand here before you today representing the citizens of the State of Israel. We are an ancient people. We date back nearly 4,000 years to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We have journeyed through time. We've overcome the greatest of adversities. And we reestablished our sovereign state in our ancestral homeland, the land of Israel. Now, the Jewish people's odyssey through time has taught us two things. Never give up hope. Always remain vigilant. Hope charts the future. Vigilance protects it. Some 2,500 years ago, the great Persian king Cyrus ended the Babylonian exile of the Jewish people. He issued a famous edict in which he proclaimed the right of the Jews to return to the land of Israel and rebuild the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. That's a Persian decree. We want peace based on security and mutual recognition, in which a demilitarized Palestinian state recognizes the Jewish state of Israel. I remain committed to achieving an historic reconciliation and building a better future for Israelis and Palestinians alike. Now, I have no illusions about how difficult this will be to achieve. 20 years ago, the peace process between Israel and the Palestinians began. 6 Israeli prime ministers, myself included, have not succeeded in achieving peace with the Palestinians. My predecessors were prepared to make painful concessions. So am I. But so far, Palestinian leaders haven't been prepared to offer the painful concessions they must make in order to end the conflict. For peace to be achieved, the Palestinians must finally recognize the Jewish state, and Israel's security needs must be met. I am prepared to make an historic compromise for a genuine and enduring peace, but I will never compromise on the security of my people and of my country, the one and only Jewish state. Together we've transformed a bludgeoned Jewish people, left for dead, into a vibrant, thriving nation, defending itself with the courage of modern Maccabees, developing limitless possibilities for the future. In our time, the biblical prophecies are being realized. As the prophet Amos said, they shall rebuild ruined cities and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and drink their wine. They shall till gardens and eat their fruit. And I will plant them upon their soil, never to be uprooted again. ושבתי את שבות עמי ישראל, ובנו ערים נשמות וישבו, ונטו כרמים ושתו את יינם, ועשו גינות ואכלו את פריים, ונטטים על אדמתם, ולא ינטשו עוד. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of Israel have come home never to be uprooted again.
Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel. And they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land which I have given them, saith the Lord thy God.